Wait, what did Teyana Taylor just do? In a twist no one saw coming, the Queen of Harlem didn't just break the internet, she scorched it. Forget the red carpets and the music videos. We are talking about a nuclear-level leak that has Iman Shumpert in a total behind-the-scenes meltdown. Teyana didn't just clap back at the divorce rumors. She flipped the entire table, outing a name so shocking and so controversial that even her die-hard fans are gasping. Girl, are you sure you want to go there? Through a series of brutal post and delete IG stories, cryptic emojis, and hidden messages, Teyana may have just exposed the man allegedly dismantling her marriage from the inside. And here's the kicker. It's not a stylist, it's not a producer, and it's definitely not who you think. This is someone who's been hiding in plain sight for years, posing as a close friend while playing a much deeper role behind closed doors. Sources say Iman is spiraling, firing his PR team, calling lawyers, and confronting Hollywood execs to keep this quiet. Even Diddy's inner circle is somehow tangled in this web. Grab your popcorn because Teyana just dropped the receipts, and what happens next might end a certain NBA star's career for good. To understand the bombshell Teyana just dropped and why it sent Iman Shumpert into a literal emotional breakdown, we have to peel back the layers of a marriage that the world once worshipped. You see, this isn't just a sudden breakup. This was a decade-long chess match that finally reached a checkmate. For years, Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert weren't just relationship goals. They were the blueprint. On one side, you had Teyana, a multi-talented force of nature, a Grammy-nominated artist, and a fashion icon. On the other, Iman Shumpert, the flashy NBA star with the high-top fade and the championship ring. Together, they sold us a dream. Remember their VH1 reality show, Teyana and Iman? That was peak Black Love branding. We saw the sultry photo shoots, the playful banter, and the beautiful home life with their daughters, Junie and Rue. They were the couple that made marriage look cool, edgy, and unbreakable. But as the saying goes, all that glitters isn't gold. And behind those perfectly curated Instagram filters, the foundation was already rotting. While fans were busy liking their red carpet photos, the streets of Atlanta and New York were whispering. And those whispers? They weren't about Teyana. They were about Iman. For years, rumors of Iman's infidelity were treated like background noise. People figured, he's an NBA player, it comes with the territory. But the rumors started taking a darker, more specific turn. It wasn't just about random women in different cities anymore. Shady, blind items on gossip blogs began hinting that Iman was playing games far outside the lines, and not just with women. Around 2020, Teyana gave an interview that felt like a cry for help. She spoke about betrayal and claimed she would never be the woman who stayed just for appearances. At the time, we thought she was talking about business deals or industry snakes. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, we realize she was talking about her home. The energy shifted. Fans noticed that the man who used to obsessively flex his wife's beauty on social media started moving differently. He grew quieter. He started hanging with a very specific circle of friends, stylists, choreographers, and creative directors. Many were openly queer, which in itself wasn't the issue. But one man in particular started appearing in the background of Iman's life. A man who was mysteriously private. A man who seemed to have a key to the house when Teyana wasn't home. By 2022, the perfect couple facade was crumbling. Teyana abruptly canceled several tour dates, citing health reasons and exhaustion. But insiders claim it wasn't physical fatigue, it was emotional trauma. The rumor mill went into overdrive. One source claimed Teyana had walked into their home and caught Iman in a compromising position. Not with a groupie, but with someone she considered a family friend. Someone family adjacent. The betrayal wasn't just sexual, it was personal. When they announced their split in 2023, they tried to keep it amicable. They used the standard PR lines about growth and co-parenting. But Teyana Taylor isn't a woman who stays silent for long when her integrity is questioned. As Iman tried to spin the narrative that he was the good guy trying to save his marriage, Teyana started dropping digital breadcrumbs. It started with a deleted IG story. Loyalty to someone who was never living in their truth is a different kind of pain. Then came the tweet that stopped the internet. Imagine building a life with a man who wanted to be you. The implications were massive. Was she saying Iman was envious of her? Or was she hinting at something deeper regarding his identity? The internet started digging. They went back to old interviews, looking for signs. They found a clip from 2017 where Iman was asked about his bachelor pad days with his former roommate, a choreographer named Jevon Hayes. Iman's reaction in that video, the nervous laughter, the way he avoided eye contact, suddenly looked very different under a 2024 lens. But the real nuclear moment happened when Teyana allegedly caught wind that Iman was trying to play dirty in the divorce courts. Sources say Iman was threatening to leak personal medical information about Teyana to gain leverage. That was his biggest mistake. You don't threaten a woman who has been collecting receipts for a decade. Teyana's response was subtle but devastating. She posted a selfie with the caption, "Thank God for discernment. Never trust a man who can't clap back without switching pronouns." The internet went into a frenzy. Was this the outing? Was Teyana Taylor officially pulling the curtain back on Iman Shumpert's secret life? The perfect NBA husband image was being dismantled in real time. But as the world focused on the drama, a darker element emerged. This wasn't just a lover's quarrel. This involved the fixers of Hollywood. Enter the Diddy connection. People began noticing that the mysterious men in Iman's circle weren't just random creatives. They were connected to the highest, most controversial levels of the music industry. Specifically, a man named Terrence Hargrove, often called TH, who is rumored to be Diddy adjacent. Terrence wasn't just a friend, he was a gatekeeper. When Terrence's name hit the blogs, his social media was scrubbed clean within an hour. Private, tagged photos removed, deleted. This sent a clear message. Someone powerful was protecting this secret. Iman was reportedly in a full-blown panic. An insider from his camp says he was screaming on the phone, "She's ruining everything! I built a brand off her name, and now she's burning the house down." He wasn't just worried about his marriage. He was worried about his endorsements, his NBA legacy, and his reputation in a league that, despite progress, is still notoriously traditional. While Iman was spiraling, Teyana was moving like a general. She knew that in the digital age, silence is a weapon. She let the fans do the detective work. She let the TikTok sleuths find the matching marble countertops in the background of friendship photos. She let the world see the gold TH pendant in the Christmas party video, where a man was clutching Iman's waist. The most chilling part of part 1? A leaked audio clip from a private Discord server. In the recording, a voice that sounds exactly like Teyana is heard whispering in a dressing room. "Tia thinks I won't talk? She's got my kids scared to go to school. This ain't just about Iman. This goes way deeper. I've got the list. I've got the video." Who is Tia? In the upper echelons of Black Hollywood, Aunt Tia is known as the ultimate cleaner. She's the woman you call when a superstar's secret is about to hit the front page. She's loyal to the Diddy inner circle, and rumor has it, she's Terrence Hargrove's godmother. This was no longer a divorce, it was an underground war. Teyana Taylor was no longer just fighting for her freedom. She was fighting against a machine that had been protecting Iman's double life for years. As we end this first chapter, the stage is set. The perfect marriage is dead. The secret identity has been teased. The industry fixers are moving in the shadows. But the biggest question remains. What exactly did Teyana find in that Miami condo? And who was really sitting in that passenger seat? The world thinks they know, but Teyana is about to show them that they haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg. Just when the world thought they had a handle on the drama, Teyana Taylor decided to stop playing nice and started playing for keeps. If part 1 was about the cracks in the marriage, part 2 is where the entire structure collapses. Because the name that started bubbling to the surface wasn't Terrence Hargrove or some random industry exec. It was a name from Iman's deep past, a name that Teyana had allegedly been forced to tolerate in the shadows for nearly a decade. Enter Jevon Hayes. Now, to the average fan, Jevon Hayes might not mean much. But in the world of professional choreography and creative direction, Jevon is a ghost who leaves a very expensive trail. He's worked with the biggest names in the game: Beyoncé, Normani, and yes, even Teyana herself. But his most significant client wasn't on a stage. It was in a locker room. Back in 2016, during a brief period when Iman and Teyana were navigating a rough patch before their first child was born, Iman wasn't living in a hotel or a mansion by himself. He was living in a bachelor pad with Jevon Hayes. At the time, the public saw them as inseparable bros. They were at every club together, every fashion show in Paris, and even spotted on a very private vacation in the Bahamas just months before Teyana gave birth to Junie. But the internet never forgets. A resurfaced clip from a 2017 podcast has recently gone viral, and the energy in that video is telling. The host joked about their living situation, saying, "Y'all had more plants and scented candles in that apartment than furniture. It looked like y'all were nesting." In the clip, Iman's face turns bright red. He starts fidgeting with his chain, laughing nervously, and stammers out, "Chill, man. Jevon just... He likes to make the space feel cozy. That's his thing." Fast forward to 2024, and that cozy friendship has become the smoking gun. TikTok sleuths began digging through archived footage and found that Jevon Hayes has been a constant, silent presence in the background of Iman's life for years. But why now? Why is Teyana bringing this up after all this time? Because according to a former hairstylist on Teyana's glam team, the betrayal wasn't that Iman had a past, it was that he never let go of it. This insider claims that back in 2018, she overheard Teyana screaming on the phone, "He doesn't live here anymore. You don't need to be sneaking him in the back door when I'm on tour. If I see him on the security cameras one more time, I'm calling your mama and the blogs." This suggests that for 6 years, Teyana Taylor lived in a 3-person marriage. She wasn't just competing with groupies or IG models. She was competing with a man who knew Iman long before the fame, a man who allegedly held a part of Iman's heart that Teyana could never reach. And when the divorce papers were finally filed, the gloves came off. Teyana's team dropped a digital detonation in the form of a Threads post that simply said, "Y'all busy focusing on the background, but the real secret was sitting in the passenger seat." Attached was a photo of Teyana driving, with a man's face partially cropped out in the passenger seat. The internet did what it does best. They enhanced the image, adjusted the exposure, and found a very specific facial mole and a tattoo on the man's hand. It wasn't Terrence. It was Jevon. The implication was clear. Teyana was showing the world exactly who had been riding shotgun in her life and her marriage. But then came the Miami incident. This is where things go from celebrity gossip to something much darker. A grainy 43-second video began circulating on a private Discord server before hitting the main blogs. The footage appears to be from a luxury condo in Miami, a property allegedly co-owned by Jevon Hayes and a mystery silent investor. In the video, 2 men are seen standing on a balcony, shirtless, draped in towels. One of them has the unmistakable height and build of an NBA athlete. While the video doesn't show anything explicit, the dialogue, captured by what sounds like a hidden mic, is devastating. A voice that sounds like Iman's is heard saying, "You know this can't get out. Not yet. Not like this. My career can't take another hit." The other man, believed to be Jevon, replies, "It already did. You're just too deep in the closet to see the lights are on." The clip ends abruptly, but the damage was done. Hashtag Miami condo leak started trending within minutes. Iman's reaction was reportedly explosive. Sources close to the former Cavs star say he went into a full-blown meltdown, calling every contact he had in the NBA and the media to suppress the footage. He allegedly fired his entire PR rep team on the spot when they told him his best move was to come out and be honest. He reportedly screamed, "Honest? You want me to be honest? This girl is trying to bury me. I built a brand on being a family man, and she's turning me into a punchline. And then, the fixers stepped in. Remember Aunt Tia? Rumors began swirling that she wasn't just a friend of Diddy. She was a high-level operative for the industry's most powerful people. Sources say Aunt Tia contacted Teyana's camp with a direct threat. Don't poke around in business that doesn't belong to you. You think you're exposing Iman? You're exposing a network that can make you disappear from every playlist and every movie screen in this town. But Teyana Taylor isn't easily intimidated. She's a Harlem girl. She's seen it all. Instead of backing down, she posted a black and white photo of her own mother, Nikki Taylor, the famous momager who has been Teyana's shield since she was a teenager. The caption? Taught by the best. We play chess, not checkers. This was a clear signal to Aunt Tia and the Hollywood fixers. If you come for Teyana, you're coming for the Taylor matriarchy, and Nikki Taylor knows where all the bodies are buried. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. This wasn't just about a cheating husband anymore. This was about a culture of silence in the NBA and the music industry. It was about how powerful men use beards and PR marriages to protect their marketability. NBA fans on Reddit began sharing stories of seeing Jevon in the tunnel at games, always dressed in the same designer gear as Iman, always staying in the same hotels. Even Stephen A. Smith had to address it on First Take, though he was walking on eggshells. Look, personal lives are personal, he said, but when secrets start affecting brand deals and locker room chemistry, it becomes a business problem. And Iman Shumpert has a very big business problem right now. To make matters worse, a major athletic brand that was about to sign Iman to a multi-million-dollar lifestyle campaign reportedly pulled the offer within 48 hours of the Miami leak. The reason? Brand misalignment. Translation: they didn't sign up for a scandal involving secret identities and hidden condos. As Part 2 draws to a close, the pressure is at an all-time high. Jevon Hayes has gone ghost, deleting his Instagram and disappearing from public view. Iman is hiding behind black screens on social media and threatening lawsuits. And Teyana? She's sitting back, watching the world burn and preparing for the final blow. Because there is one more piece of evidence, a video from a 2021 New Year's Eve party in Atlanta that allegedly shows more than just a friendship. And rumor has it, the list of people in that room includes names that would make the Diddy scandal look like a tea party. The internet is holding its breath. Teyana has promised a reveal in the next 48 hours. Is it a song? Is it a documentary? Or is it the final nail in the coffin of Iman Shumpert's public persona? The board is set. The kings are missing. And Teyana Taylor is about to call checkmate. We have reached the point of no return. If Part 1 was the spark and Part 2 was the fire, Part 3 is the absolute explosion that leveled everything in its path. As the world waited for Teyana Taylor's 48-hour deadline to expire, the tension in the entertainment industry reached a fever pitch. This wasn't just about a marriage anymore. This was about the gatekeepers. And the biggest gatekeeper of them all? Sean Diddy Combs. For weeks, people wondered why Diddy's name kept surfacing in a divorce between an NBA star and a singer. The answer finally leaked through a disgruntled former assistant who shared a private Discord link that contained what the internet now calls the Atlanta footage. This wasn't a grainy balcony shot. This was high-definition CCTV footage from a private New Year's Eve party in 2021, held at a massive estate in Atlanta. In the video, the guest list looks like a who's who of Black Hollywood. But the focus isn't on the music or the champagne. In a corner of the VIP lounge, the camera captures Iman Shumpert, Jevon Hayes, and a very prominent music executive locked in a conversation that looked way too intimate to be business. Witnesses from that night claim that this wasn't just a party, it was an entry point. They call these the pink parties, or the circle, where athletes are brought in, promised massive brand deals and protection, in exchange for their total loyalty and allegedly their silence about their true identities. The leak suggests that Iman Shumpert wasn't just living a double life. He was being managed by a system that thrives on closeted stars. And Teyana, she was the perfect cover. She was beautiful, successful, and loyal. But even loyalty has an expiration date when you realize your entire life has been a PR campaign for someone else's secret. The fallout from the Atlanta tape was immediate. Suddenly, the Aunt Tia figure we mentioned earlier didn't seem like just a PR fixer. She looked like a recruiter. Rumors exploded that Aunt Tia's job was to find beards for high-profile athletes, ensuring their straight image stayed intact so the league and the sponsors kept the money flowing. But Teyana Taylor broke the first rule of the club. She stopped keeping the secret. According to a high-level source at a major sports network, the NBA's front office was in a state of emergency. Not because of Iman's sexuality, the league has become more progressive, but because of the connections to Diddy's ongoing legal troubles and the underground network Teyana was hinting at. If Iman was part of Diddy's inner circle, what else did he see? What else did he know? The "don't forget what we did in Cannes" text message started to make terrifying sense. Cannes is where the biggest, most secretive industry parties happen. If Teyana has footage from France, it's not just Iman who's going down. It's half of Hollywood. As the walls closed in, Iman Shumpert made a desperate move. He appeared on a leaked audio clip, allegedly talking to a mutual friend, sounding completely broken. "They're turning me into a monster, bro," he said, his voice shaking. "Teyana knows the truth. She was there. We were a team. Now she's acting like she was a victim. She signed the NDAs just like I did. If I go down, she goes down. Why is she doing this?" But Teyana's checkmate was already in motion. Instead of responding with more anger, she did something much more calculated. She sat down for a tell-all interview that was teased on a major streaming platform. In the 30-second promo, the interviewer asks her point blank, "Did you know who Iman really was when you married him?" Teyana looks directly into the camera, a single tear falling down her face, and says, "I knew the man he told me he was. I didn't know the man they forced him to be. But I refused to let my daughters grow up in a house built on lies." The internet's reaction was a civil war. One side called Teyana a legend for exposing the industry groomers and fixers who trap athletes in fake lives. The other side accused her of being homophobic and vindictive, claiming she was outing a man who clearly wasn't ready to face his truth. But Teyana's supporters fired back. This isn't about his sexuality. This is about the cheating, the gaslighting, and the fact that he was bringing these men into their family home behind her back. Meanwhile, Jevon Hayes, the man in the passenger seat, finally broke his silence. He didn't do an interview. He didn't write a long caption. He posted one single image to his IG story, a photo of a birdcage with the door wide open. No caption, just the image. To many, this was a confession. He was finally free from the shadow of being Iman's secret. But for Iman, the cage was just getting smaller. The career fallout was devastating. Within a week, Iman was dropped from 2 major television projects. His Single Dad reality show was postponed indefinitely. His podcast sponsors pulled their ads. Even former teammates started distancing themselves. LeBron James, who is usually very vocal about his friends, stayed completely silent. The Brotherhood had closed its doors on Iman Shumpert. But the story took one final dark turn. A gospel singer who had worked with Teyana's mother, Taylor, leaked a series of emails. These emails allegedly showed that Teyana's camp had been blackmailing the industry fixers for months, trying to get a better divorce settlement. The emails suggested that Teyana wasn't just a woman scorned. She was a woman who had learned how to play the industry's dirty games better than the pros. This led to a new wave of backlash. Was Teyana a hero or just a better villain? In the end, the Teyana and Iman brand, the blueprint for Black love, wasn't just destroyed. It was erased. The mirror selfies, the red carpet moments, the hashtag goals, it all felt like a lie. Teyana Taylor moved out of their shared mansion and into a private estate in California, focused on her solo career and her children. Iman Shumpert was last spotted in Miami, looking somber, still surrounded by a small circle of friends, but the flash was gone. The legacy of this scandal isn't just about a breakup. It's a cautionary tale about the price of fame. It exposed the shadow industry that manages celebrity lives. It showed that behind every perfect Hollywood couple, there might be a passenger seat secret waiting to be revealed. Teyana Taylor proved that you can only push a person so far before they decide to burn the entire kingdom down just to breathe fresh air. As the dust settles, the Miami condo is back on the market. The Atlanta tape has been scrubbed from most mainstream sites, but it lives forever in the corners of the internet. And Iman? He's left with the one thing he feared most: the truth. Whether he ever lives it or continues to hide from it is up to him. But Teyana Taylor? She's already moved on to the next chapter. She's no longer just a singer, a dancer, or a wife. She's the woman who took on the machine and won. And there you have it, the full, unvarnished story of how Teyana Taylor flipped the script and sent shockwaves through the NBA and the music world. This wasn't just a divorce, it was a digital execution. From the secret rooms in Miami to the fixers in Hollywood, this scandal has exposed a side of the industry that most stars spend millions to hide. But now I want to hear from you. The internet is still divided, and the receipts are still coming in. Do you think Teyana Taylor was right to expose Iman's secret life? Or did she go too far by weaponizing his identity? Was this a case of a woman finally getting her justice? Or is she just as much a part of the industry game as the people she's calling out? And what do you think about the Diddy connection? Is there an even bigger bombshell waiting to drop? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. If you're shocked by these revelations, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. We are tracking every update, every deleted post, and every new leak in real time. You don't want to miss part 4 if that Atlanta footage officially hits the mainstream. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.